On Saturday, an F-22 Raptor fired an AIM-9X Sidewinder missile at a Chinese surveillance balloon off the coast of South Carolina, bringing the balloon down. Some of these speculations were political, while others concerned the potential harm the balloon could cause if armed with various weapon systems. Let's pick out some of the most widespread lies and half-truths about the Chinese surveillance balloon, as well as the most pressing questions, and then answer them with the help of official statements from defense officials or by providing some background information. If China were to invade Taiwan, the United States military would most likely win, but only at great expense. The weapon was an AIM-9X Sidewinder missile, the most advanced version of the reliable Sidewinder family and the first in the world to use infrared guidance, heat-seeking. The Navy's game-changing missile pet project. Officially, the United States government wanted to make sure no one got hurt or any property was damaged when the balloon, which was about the length of 3 school buses, crashed to the ground after being shot down. The secondary justification for the balloon's continued flight was probably the asset it represented to the United States in terms of intelligence gathering, rather than to China. Did China gain any useful information from the balloon? Image by Russett, accessed through Wikimedia Commons. Officials from the Defense Department have made it clear that precautions were taken to prevent the system from collecting or relaying any data, and astute users of social media platforms like Twitter and Reddit were quick to notice the presence of aircraft like the 135 rivet joint in the areas the balloon flew over. The ADM-160 MALD is a top-secret American air defense weapon. When Chinese spy satellites are already buzzing overhead, there's no point in sending up a balloon. If you know when a spy satellite will be directly overhead, hiding something from it is as easy as moving it out of sight during those times. Because radar waves aren't reflected by the balloon's fabric, these enormous balloons often have a very small radar cross-section, sometimes comparable to a small bird. Even though it can take up to a decade to launch a new spy satellite into orbit, technological advancements have made it possible for inexpensive balloons to perform the same function. What if a nuclear or EMP weapon had been in the balloon instead? Many people were worried that an electromagnetic pulse, EMP, or nuclear weapon was on board the balloon as it traveled across the United States, so they voiced their concerns on social media. In fact, detonating a nuclear weapon high above the country would be the most practical way to cause an EMP across a large swath of the United States. This raises the possibility that a nuclear or biological weapon was concealed inside the balloon. However, if China wanted to explode a nuclear weapon over the United States, missiles would be the most efficient method. The accuracy of missiles is significantly better than that of balloons, and are a much harder target to intercept. Moreover, it's worth noting that America's nuclear missile silos were built to withstand nuclear war, and thus are protected from EMP attacks. The American nuclear triad is defined. Why waste a costly missile on bringing down a balloon? When a weather balloon went awry in 1998, the Canadian government sent 2 F-18s to chase it down. The 2 fighters used their M61A1 Vulcan autocannons to fire over 1,020mm rounds at the balloon, nearly emptying their magazines. But even after numerous large holes were poked in the balloon, it managed to stay aloft for days. The American fighter jets have what kind of massive guns, right? Many people are worried that the United States demonstrated that it would allow such balloons to enter its airspace, raising the stakes for future balloon-based attacks. Allowing this balloon to continue flying does not set a precedent that must be adhered to in the future because, in reality, balloon-based attacks are not particularly effective, as Japan learned in World War II. Like the first Chinese balloon, the second one is raising eyebrows over Latin America, but it's unlikely to cause any harm to anyone it flies over. It's not unusual to see these balloons or other intelligence-gathering systems